Hello, Parsons, Collab Design for Literacy Students. This is Marcos, and this is our week 10 going to week 11 recap briefing video. And we had a great last class as everyone came to my office for our photo shoot and review with Dirt Collabor Demi. And it was a great time, and we got some really, really great results that I'm so excited to share with you guys. Here's just one image of each of you put together, and you guys look absolutely fantastic and amazing, and did such a great job as representing yourself as the high fashion models that each of you are. And I just appreciate you guys coming in all the way to Brooklyn and wearing your great, cool outfits as directed. And most importantly, having your completed, beautiful, incredible baby board books that each of you have now produced and have had your hands on. And I hope you were just as excited as I was to see them and to see the results of having a conversation, collabing with somebody or with an organization, putting an assignment in front of you, and then you responding to the brief, responding to the direction, and then putting your heart and soul into a story idea and creating each of you a wonderful baby board book that's designed to be experienced with a parent and a young child. And I think it's just fantastic. And I just really appreciate each of you guys. And of course, you're going to want to see your pictures, right? So this is just one of many pictures. And I just today uploaded them to our class Google Drive. And if you go to the class Google Drive, there's a folder called Photo Shoot Pics. And then in that folder is a folder for each of you. And then the full edit, minus a few, eyes closed that I took out, are all the pictures we took together. And unfortunately, they're in that annoying HEIC file that's like an Apple thing. So you might have to convert them to JPEGs. But they're there for you, of course, to use for your project. In other words, you need to pick out an image and crop it similar to what you see here, kind of a little below the shoulders. Don't leave too much room above your head, like crop it kind of like I am right now on the screen, and pick the best shot of you. We've been doing these in black and white, so I think everyone should convert theirs to black and white. I can do it for you if as long as you just place your choice there of your photo, and and of course remember it's the one without the book, just your shoulders up. And then also while we're here, remember to fill in your name and where you're from, what city and state or city and country you're from. And then if you have the time to put in a little bit of a statement about what your story is or what it's inspired by, what the story is trying to teach, and or maybe even what your design approach was, just a little bit there, and I can help with that as well. But yeah, but for sure, just pick out a great shot, and you can also make sure you have them for like your latest LinkedIn profile or whatever else you want to use with them. They're there for you to use. And then let's get dive into what's next. As I didn't get a chance to look at or to review with just a few of you, but I didn't get a chance to review with most of you on Thursday because I was busy being the photographer. But I did get a chance to look at them on the Google Drive, and there's a lot of people who have done quite a lot of work and have moved forward and are on schedule, on track. Um, and then some of you are kind of a little bit behind and a little worrisome. Some of you, one of you is kind of a lot behind, I think. I'm not sure. So this is the time to really kind of buckle down for sure and go now towards the finish line. We have next week, next Thursday, we have our design completion. And that is meant to be as much as possible your final, all your layouts done. But then there's another week after that, week 12, where you have a chance to finalize your layouts, but also know that the final files are due by Thursday so that I can then get them ready for class. Depending how things are, we'll talk about in class if you want to have a review on it, or maybe some of us can review on that next Thursday. We will be starting on week, not this week, but the next week, we'll be starting the last assignment, as you see here, the audiovisual storybook will be coming up, and that'll be kind of a 3 to 4 week project, fourth week being our final reviews. And just we'll talk about it more, but just start thinking about how you could utilize most likely your storybook as being an audiovisual, digital, um, on the phone kind of experience with sound and kind of limited motion or movement of your images. But it might also be depending on what you did for your baby board book. I mean, maybe it could be that. Sometimes a few students have done that, but typically it's something that gets read out loud, so it has to be a kind of a longer story. But the other option, if you're feeling ambitious, or maybe if you had a story you wish you would have done, or you're just now that you've done by then 2 books, maybe you're feeling like you can do a third, you can do a whole new third story. It's not a lot of time, so utilizing your assets from your current baby board or your current storybook is probably the best way to go. But think about that, like what maybe you have a story you want to do or a different idea, but we'll brief that not this class, but on week 12, and then we'll go through the same process. Okay, so to be ready for next week, it's going to be our development presentation. So consider the feedback that Demi gave, and incorporate that into what you're doing and move forward and plan out so that you get a lot done. Hopefully, you're working this weekend right now as I speak. Um, and also, if you kind of wish you could have heard more from me, I am more than happy to either respond to you by email with any questions you have, or just if you want to ask me what I think, or if you really want, I can also set up a Zoom meeting and we can talk about it by Zoom. So don't let this is kind of a crucial week. So don't let if you have any wonder or need make reassurance or ideas, just let me know and I'll connect. So then make any adjustments to your story or design style. Like this is kind of like the last chance to do that. Like don't go changing it, but you can still fine tune and tweak. But mostly you're focusing on completing your illustrations for each of your spreads, and that you have by our next class, ideally, again, it doesn't have to be, but ideally you're showing your full cover to last page to back cover on Thursday, with the caveat that there's still kind of another week to further it. So if you're really in trouble, don't listen to that and be 3/4 of the way done. Let's say that's the worst you should be is 3/4 of the way done. Ideally, you're fully done with just an opportunity to kind of like make a few more changes before you submit your final files. And the main thing I'm rushing here too is because I have to take your books, your files, and again, like process them and submit them to the on-demand printer blurb, and it takes them a couple of weeks. And I do not want uh, I want everyone to have their books, both of your books, on that day of the final review in hand. And by the way, if you took your baby board book, which is okay if you did, on Thursday, make sure you bring it on the last day of class. Most of you have left them there. I think just a couple of you took them, so they're waiting for you, but you'll take them home on the final day of class. But I want to make sure everybody gets their book. And if you're late with your storybook, it starts becoming expensive to like rush it, and I don't want to rush the printing and pay, double or whatever. So try to get that done in the next 2 weeks, for sure. All right, and then make sure you update your presentation and that you're ready to go over it in class together, back in our class. All right. So this is just an image um, of what the final assignment should be for you or what your goal should be. Again, it's minimum of 10 spreads. Could be more, but it can't be less. And then don't forget, we're not counting the first page is the scribble page here. It's a dirt page, and then page 2 and 3 are dirt pages too, with your portrait and your bio. And then away in the back, the last page is a more books by dirt page. Remember the back cover, and then 10 spreads. 10 spreads is the minimum. And of course, don't forget, it's super important. Don't forget that this is a title spread right here. Don't be the one that forgets to do that and gets called out in our next class, because that's just part of the way I want this book to start. It's like an important story. I want you to set the stage. The story can start here, like it does here, with the view of the city, and then it introduces the character on spread 2. But there has to be a title matching the look of your cover with your credit, what where your story's from, and the designer, illustrator, you. You might want to, depending on if you wrote the book, it could be written and designed, or written and illustrated by your name. It could be if you took a story and you just kind of like update it a little bit, it could be adapted by and illustrated or adapted by and designed by your name. Or if you just want to say if it's kind of like you did everything and it's all yours, you can simply say by and your name, and that will work as well. So make sure that you take care of all this and that you're ready. And don't forget about the fixed elements of the dirt logo on the bottom corner and the UPC on the bottom. And remember that I'm looking into now going to Amazon, and they put UPCs over here on the right side of the back near the bottom where my mouse is moving around here. So that's where you should also leave a place for where the UPC could go. And I don't care if it interrupts if you have a busy illustration that's full bleed, that's okay. Like it's just a UPC code, kind of like on the cover here. It's okay that it interrupts the drawing of the finish line, but just know that that will happen and plan for that. And then again, don't forget the inside cover and page one is our page, as well as this page with the information about dirt and about you. And the last page is more books about dirt. And then remember the bleed. Remember to keep the 1/8 of an inch all the way around that we can open it up and have the bleed be there. And I've put this assignment like every week on Canvas with links to the Google Drive, which is here, part 4, design finalization. And remember to um, also, what am I saying? I lost train of thought. Remember to put it on Google, and I guess that's it. Put it on Google and be ready on Thursday for a review together. And then on Thursday, I'll be asking everybody who wants extra copies of your baby board book so that we can order them and have those ready for last day of class so you can take those home with you as well. All right. So remember, check out your pictures. So excited. You guys look so beautiful. And be ready for our next event at my office again will be our final reviews. And I'll have a series of guests. We're going to set up the photo shoot room as more of a review room, but a group review room with 4 different stations, and 4 different guest judges, and the station will be in my office as well, and maybe a couple of stations, and you'll be going around from station to station, or not all of them, but like at least 2 stations, and presenting to different people, adults, a couple of kids, some former students, just different kinds of people to present, including Demi. And it should be just really great. So be ready with your storybook at its best, and of course, your soon to be worked on audiovisual book. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Reach out to me as needed and keep working hard and keep putting your heart into this. You guys have already proven how excellent you are and how much you have within you to make something special, unique. And I want to see your best coming out in this next project as you've already been doing. But this is critical now. Don't get sloppy. Don't get tired yet. Make sure you put as much time as you can into this while still having a balanced life. You have other classes and other people in your life, and stay healthy and get rest and eat right. But focus, work hard, and make this thing great because we're going to print this thing and it's going to look incredible and you want it to be your best. And again, reach out to me as needed. I hope you guys have a great week and I'll see you on Thursday in class. Bye.